Okay, well, let's bring in Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Welcome back, MTG. Right person at the right time, Friday night, 24 hours or so, maybe 28 hours. Looks like, for all intent and purposes, we're going to have a government shutdown tomorrow night. You agree?
Yes, I do agree with that, Eric. Now, this is coming after a very successful week here in Washington, D.C. One of the biggest successes that we had this week was passing our defense appropriation bill and stripping the Ukraine war money out of it. That was a big win that I personally worked on, and I'm very proud to say that 117 Republicans, which is over half of our conference, voted against Ukraine war money. But yes, there is unfortunately going to be a shutdown. But you know who we can really blame for that, Eric? Democrats. Democrats are the party of shutdowns. They shut down the country with COVID, and they have already said, the Senate and the White House has said, that they do not want to work with Republicans and secure our border.
It's very important that you explain to the American people why. And again, every time there's a looming shutdown, both sides point the finger. It doesn't matter who has the gavel. What matters is what you're doing, Marjorie Taylor Greene and others like you. You're saying some of the things that the American people don't want. We don't want to just arbitrarily blanket write a check so Biden can spend whatever he wants on whatever, wherever, whenever he wants, and as much as he wants. And it's really smart. So the four or so measures that you did pass, they're not a full budget. They're not a continuing resolution. They're not a stopgap like Byron Donalds wants, but it's making sure that things like veterans get paid, making sure the military gets paid. Tell us what we can expect come Monday, even though some of the government will be shut down.
Well, let's put out some facts for everyone to understand. First of all, everyone is going to get paid on September 30th. So it's not like they're going to go without a check come tomorrow. They will receive their check from the government. Social Security checks keep coming. Medicare, Medicaid keep coming. There's many services that keep on going, even though the government is, quote unquote, shut down. So don't fall into the fear mongering. But a government shutdown is truly not a good thing. It does cost the American people more taxpayer dollars. But what we have to do, and I do agree with my friend Matt Gaetz, is we have to fix the broken system in Washington. And that's why I voted against the CR. I voted against it, number one, is because the Senate and the White House said they had no interest, and they said it was dead on arrival, even though it did provide strong border security measures. I voted against it, number two, because I'm tired of participating in a broken system. I'm tired of us going home in August and September when we should be here working and passing 12 appropriation bills that have to be done to fund the government by September 30th. I think there's a much better way to run Congress. It should be run like a successful business, not a failing company that's going bankrupt.
And we those of us, the fiscal conservatives in the audience listening to you right now, agree with you. Great, fantastic. Hold their feet to the fire. All right, they'll get paid. It's just going to take a little while on some of the things. And as you point out, Social Security checks will continue to go out no matter if the government's open or closed, and those other militaries and the others will continue. So it really comes down to, well, some of these lawmakers aren't going to get paid. Some of these federal employees aren't going to get paid. For the general vast majority of the American people, we're all right with that as long as what you're doing, you hold their feet to the fire and get some real change, and you're getting it so far. I love that you got Lloyd Austin a dollar salary in this last package that you put together. I was just thinking, what about Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas? I'm thinking Attorney General Merrick Garland. Maybe, can you work your way down all of them, get them all $1, and maybe they wake up and realize that they work for us, not themselves?
Well, I have great news for you. I used the Holman Rule on two people, not just the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin. It was also successful. My amendment passed to take Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas' salary down to $1 using the Holman Rule. That passed also. So we've had huge successes in Washington. This week, we funded our defense bill, which is amazing for our military, gives them a pay raise. You see, Eric, we can do great things when we are actually working hard to get these appropriation bills passed. But we can't do them when we spend our time going home, going on fundraising trips, or just not doing our job. jobs. So I want to see the good changes in Washington. Again, Eric, I'll tell you, I do not support a government shutdown, and I believe there's many people that do need to be paid, outside of a shutdown. But our situation is we can't ever fix the country if we don't fix Washington, D.C. What we have to do is tell the Senate and we have to tell the White House that they need to do the right thing for the country and be willing to work with the Republican-controlled House of Representatives to come up with a good solution to move forward. The CR that I just voted no on today actually was dead on arrival in the Senate and dead on arrival in the White House. And those were the Democrats and Mitch McConnell, who really helps Joe Biden more than anyone. Those are the ones that were telling us it was dead on arrival. So what we have to do is we have to figure out a process of how to go forward. Now, I'll tell you that process, Eric. It's us getting to work, passing our appropriation bills. We got 3 of those done this week, and I'm so happy to say that we were able to do that. And I hope that we can continue to do that instead of wasting more time arguing with one another and trying to pass something that the Senate says they won't pass, the White House says they won't pass, and that fails on the House floor. I really want a path to success for the American people, and I want a path to fix Washington, D.C. because it's broken.
Well, I love what you're doing. I love the fact you're getting these Mayorkas and Lloyd Austin, and again, we can say that the Transportation Secretary could be the next one, or Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, could be the next one. You can just go down the list, but and maybe we'll find one of them that's doing their job. I'm not really sure. Probably not, but maybe. Marjorie Taylor Greene, great having you, and we'll bring you back next week because, in the midst of a government shutdown, a lot of things will become clearer to us all. Maybe you can explain the way you did tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eric.